Good morning, everyone. This is Tornado Tim. I'm here just looking at the storm dynamics for today and tomorrow. So when I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to go, I start out just trying to figure out where everything is now. I use the computer models HRRR and NamNest to kind of get an idea of what's happening. So I want to again look at the dew points. Here's the heavy dew points down here. It's 70s now in the Gulf. And the computer model NamNest sees the moisture moving up like this today. So finally by dark, the dew points are pretty much around 60 in Oklahoma City, Woodward, Oklahoma, which would have been my target for today. If I was chasing today, I would have gone probably up to Woodward, partly because I don't think I'd see a tornado, but parking there to get the lightning storm that's going to happen tonight, because I'm expecting some pretty sweet lightning storms right up in this area tonight. So we see the moisture streaming up. So today, because of the cap, likely not going to see storms. We want to follow this moisture and see what it's going to do for tomorrow. Look at though, even by dark tonight, Mississippi still dew points in under 50 is what this computer model NamNest is predicting. That's low. So storms not firing here today. If you look at the computer model, for firing storms, and the simulated reflectivity. And for tonight, it shows a few storms breaking free down in southern Oklahoma, but they're probably not going to be able to sustain long. They're probably going to be fairly high base. It's just so much hot, warm air aloft. And so even though we know the dry line's moving through here, the storms are way out in front of it. So they'll have plenty of moisture. Should be good storms for rain, some lightning and thunder. As we get into Friday, that first line of storms is gone, and now we're getting our dry line push here tomorrow. As the dew points move in, you're going to see that convection take off, and now we get that dry line type push here. And as you can see, it's fairly linear. This is NamNest prediction. As we get into late tomorrow night, definitely squall line look up in the north, heading into Wisconsin. And I'd say that's probably going to be a pretty active area tonight. Down towards the bottom of southeast Iowa, probably going to be some broken spots in this line. Supercells probably likely in there. This is just before dark. Get to Des Moines, you're going to have dew points of near 60. I know there's going to be quite a few chasers in southeast Iowa, Des Moines to the corner over here. I'd say that's a very good spot for supercells. The thing is watch how fast they move. This dry line in 1 hour moves pretty quick, but then 2 hours and 3 hours. So if we go from here, 18 Zulu, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, but then all of a sudden 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, we've covered all of Iowa and into the middle of Illinois in under 6 hours. That's how fast that stuff's going to move. In 6 hours from Des Moines, Iowa, down to what? Springfield, Illinois. That front will have pushed through. And you're not only going to have the dry line push in Iowa, you're going to be fighting the cold air push, which is going to be rapidly moving behind it. If you watch here, the blues are the really cold air, the oranges and reds are the warmer air. As you watch, you can see, look at how that cold air is slamming in very rapidly. It just all of a sudden kicks in right around dark. It just flies. That's what kind of turned me off from chasing this week. Is tomorrow it's going to be so fast moving. Because when your cold front moves this fast, I mean, we're Des Moines, Iowa, 1, 2, 3. That cold front's pushing through that fast that the temperatures have dropped 10, 15 degrees that quick for 5 hours. And that cold front's almost all the way through Illinois, at least the beginning of the cold front. The coldest of the cold is behind it. And you can see the dew points have just dropped rapidly. Just watch how fast the dew points drop. So that after dark, maybe an hour or two after dark is all, the heaviest dew points are all the way gone out of Illinois. Just that little bottom, the southeast corner of Illinois could be a nightmare tomorrow night for severe weather. The dew points are still ridiculously high. And now we've got a strong dew point spread, 30 to 63 down here in Arkansas. This area looks really, really volatile tonight. The question is it going to be so volatile that the storms are going to just blow up and you're going to have a rain mess that you'll have to chase through while there's tornadoes on the ground? Because the dew points that high with cold air behind it typically tells me heavy, heavy, heavy rain in this area. So I'm thinking far western Kentucky, southeast Illinois, and here southeast Missouri, down into northwest Tennessee. It's just soakers. I mean soaking rain with tornadoes. Could be a nightmare scenario to have to drive in. The shear is going to be pushing in. That dry line push is going to just, this has to go up. This has to explode. You have too dry of air here that can't possibly coexist with moisture, so it's going to undercut, and that moisture is going to be forced up to the point where it looks like just a few hours after sunset, everything is cleared out of Illinois. So watch how fast the moisture moves away tomorrow night. This is what convinced me not to go to Iowa tomorrow. I'm watching those dew points and how quickly. So let's do 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. So we go from Des Moines, Iowa to the middle of Illinois. The dry line is pushed. From Des Moines, Iowa to the middle of Illinois, the dry line is pushed that fast. In just 4 hours, 5 hours, that's just stupid fast. And then let's just focus on this area here where I was targeting Iowa. If I look at it here, HRRR, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, looks like a lot of supercells right here. That's early in the day, not much after lunch. Look at the surface for the dew points. You notice it's firing on the dry line. It's fired on the dry line. So the heavy moisture is out here. So that means these storms that you see these storms? These here are firing at a high altitude. They're not very close to the ground. They're going to be pretty. They're going to be spinning, possibly producing some land spouts. This one here is a little deeper in. He's got a better potential to produce a tornado. But look at the temperatures also. So you got a temperature of 76 right here. And a dew point that's 50. That's a large dew point spread. So the closer the temperature is to the dew point number, the lower the clouds can be. But the higher the temperature and the lower the dew point is from it, in this case 41 for a dew point to a temperature of 76, that's a large dew point spread. Storms are going to be high based. So you get excited about seeing these storms pop up, but they're all high based right now. But what I didn't like is, where do those storms go? Well, they're going to dry out quick. So this is 1 hour difference. 1 hour they're over Des Moines. An hour later we got storms firing over Cedar Rapids. And let's go one more hour. And they're already clearing out of this area. These storms here in southeast Iowa, let's see what they got to work with. According to the prediction, it's dry here. They're firing also in drier air. So we have a dew point of 53. What's it say the temperature is? 77, 78. So we've got quite a massive dew point spread. So again, I'm thinking probably leaning a little more towards higher based. Now again, this is all computer models estimation. But I would be looking here in Wisconsin at the southeast corner. I'd be watching that area. That southeast corner of Wisconsin, you got dew points in 60. That's high. Got temperatures that are 68, so there's not much dew point spread. I could see some low storms in here, low base storms. I mean, these are what I would call probably tree draggers. The bottom of the supercell will be running right along the tree line. It'll just be that low. So right here, 0 hours Des Moines, 1 hour Cedar Rapids, 2 hours breaking into Wisconsin, 3 hours, we're done, Iowa, according to HRRR. In 3 hours, it's gone from Des Moines to Illinois, Wisconsin. That's clipping. I don't know if I could even keep up with that in my car on the interstate. I could be driving I-80 there, and I'd think they'll be leaving me in the dust. So this north play, those things are going to be stuck into that low. I think they'll all be spinning. I think it will be pretty impressive looking storms, and moving ridiculously fast, except here. Now look at this. Let's go back, look at the dew point here, Wisconsin. 60-degree dew point right in here, 63. Temperature, 64, 66. But what's feeding into it, these temperatures are feeding into it, 70. So a couple hours before dark, southeast Wisconsin, yeah, you better be looking out. I'd say tomorrow night, it's right on top of that low too. This stuff's going to really be spinning. This might be the worst area on this northern play, is Wisconsin, Iowa, Illinois border, right along in here. And that area is volatile many times. So the temperatures have been baking along in here. You can see 76, 75 for temperatures. But look, the dew points are already gone. So we're basically, I'd say even before dark, Springfield, Illinois is probably going to be cleared according to this model. And then already a few hours after nightfall, most of Illinois is already dried out. We just got this bottom corner, southeast Illinois, southwest Indiana, western Kentucky, northwestern Tennessee, and then sadly down into Mississippi. We have ridiculous dew points. We have a low pressure up here that's moving and shoving all this together to make explosive storms. The temperatures are really low, 65, 67, 66. So what that's telling me is rain, 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 rain. Lots of rain, fog probably, or at least misty. Very poor visibility down in this area for the storms, but ridiculous amounts of energy. Very explosive. Just really tough stuff to see much in. SPC is really concerned about this spot here. And as we see, HRRR shows some very bad storms whipping through here. Just a ridiculous amount of moisture to work with. Temperature, dew point spread, very narrow. Dew points is the 60s. Dew points just a few degrees below the temperature. So when dew points are just a few degrees below the temperature, possible fog, mist, low-based supercells or cloud draggers down in here. Lots of moisture to work with. So this early morning run for tomorrow night definitely looks like everything's there for those to be some pretty severe storms. Probably tornadic right in this area. The thing that kind of stumps me though is looking at 3 Zulu. That's just after dark down here in Mississippi, Tennessee. If I go to Namnest, here's what it sees for storms. So Namnest isn't always the best at picking out where the storms are, and its reflectivity is not quite as accurate as HRRR, but it's showing a lot of broken storms here. Energy wise, it's showing the same though, ridiculous amount of dew points. Temperatures 1 to 2 degrees warmer than the dew point, so yeah, we're talking about low base supercells, clouds that are dragging the treetops, easy to get a tornado down, strong wind fields. So the reflectivity is only good if you know the dew points. So I have both models, plenty of moisture they agree on. They agree pretty much on the temperatures. So whether you look at an HRRR or Namnest, not much difference. They just move the dry line a little different in speed. So I'm leaning towards HRRR's simulated reflectivity as probably being fairly realistic. And in Iowa, again, the reminder about Iowa that I didn't like, why I decided not to go to Iowa, is because storms in the dry line, dry air, high based, he might have a good chance of having a nice tornado. But then just bam, 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 they're gone. Just a few hours and Iowa clears. And yes, I-80 is fast, but not that fast. But if HRRR was right here, it's got northwestern Illinois being raked over. Rockford, Illinois. Watch out. Springfield, Illinois. But they're going to fly by. It's there and it's gone. That's HRRR. Namnest, as it shows them flying by, looking a little bit more like a squall line. Probably supercells embedded in this whole line, all the way down Iowa, Wisconsin, Illinois, down waking through most of the state of Illinois, down into Missouri. But Namnest thinks it's going to scream through. Bam, bam, bam. And the storms are gone. Good luck chasing that. Just going to have to park and watch. The only place I think they could be slower is possibly down on the southwest corner of Illinois. But up in here, they're going to be screaming. So those are the things that I look at when I storm chase. That's kind of how I make my predictions, is off of what I see here and my decisions on whether I want to chase or not. And though if I was a rich man and had a ton of money, I'd probably be sitting just east of Des Moines, Iowa, maybe closer to Cedar Rapids, and try to follow the storms. The thing with following the storms here on I-80 is you get into nothing but congestion. Once you get to the far eastern corner of Iowa, even I-80 gets slow because you got to go through the Quad Cities area, and ain't no fast way through Quad Cities. No fast way. So I decided it's not a prime chasing area for me, not areas I'd like to chase in. Lots of population in that zone, lots of population down in here. Not a good setup for me. Other guys, they don't care, but for me, I'm really picky. I want things to be pretty perfect for me.